What's going on? Welcome to this video today. I am so happy you're here. Of course, I'm Jennifer from jforrestenglish.com, and this month I'm doing the 30-day video challenge, which means every day for the next 30 days, I'm bringing you a new video sharing public speaking tips, advice, and motivation to help you become a fluent, confident English speaker. And this is day 29. Woohoo! Now let's get started. First of all, you guys, day 29, shout it out in the comments. And that means if you've been following along with me, you just watched 29 videos. That's crazy, right? Almost as crazy as me making 29 videos in 29 days. So put that in the comments, day 29, because I'm feeling pretty excited right now. And I honestly waited until the very end for probably my favorite quote in the world when we're thinking about public speaking, okay? Now, first of all, I need to introduce you to the father of public speaking, one of my mentors, one of my favorite teachers, Dale Carnegie. I hope that name sounds familiar to you. I truly do, because Dale Carnegie is amazing. You may know him from his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I have read this book 20 times. Every time I read it, I learn something new. It's one of my favorite books. It's one of the books I've read the most out of any book. And also, Dale Carnegie has written many books specific to public speaking, because he basically created public speaking as a skill, not as a natural talent. He made the world realize that anybody can be an amazing public speaker, because Dale Carnegie created a school of public speaking where they go and practice public speaking every single week and get practical experience being a speaker in a supportive environment. Now, my students, that probably sounds familiar to all my students in the Business English Academy, because that's exactly what I do in my training as well with my students. Incorporate public speaking skills, practical skills. It's not learning about public speaking that's going to make you an amazing public speaker. It's speaking. It's doing the work. It's getting out there and gaining experience in front of a microphone. That's how you become an amazing public speaker. And here's the quote by Dale Carnegie that I love and that I want you to remember, specifically to public speaking, specifically to speaking English in public. And of course, you guys know when I say public speaking, I just mean speaking in public, in any context. It's not about giving TED Talks to massive audiences. It could be speaking in a meeting at work in front of 3 coworkers, okay? So using public speaking in a very broad sense, speaking in public. Now, the quote is, only the prepared speaker deserves to be confident. I'm going to repeat that. Only the prepared speaker deserves to be confident. Now, remember I told you that Dale Carnegie convinced the world that public speaking is not just a natural talent, public speaking is a skill. And you become a good public speaker by preparing, by speaking in public, by getting practice, by doing it in a supportive environment with a trained professional that can give you support, advice, and feedback. That's how you become a great public speaker. So here's the deal. If you go into a presentation, if you go into a job interview, if you go into a networking event and you feel nervous, you don't feel confident, well, that probably tells you you haven't prepared enough. And I don't think people understand the importance of preparing. I think it's very obvious when you think about a TED Talk speaker, right? At that level of presentation, I think anyone would prepare, right? You would never wing a TED Talk. You would never just go on there without knowing exactly what you were going to say. But then people go to networking events, to conferences, and they say, oh, I really hate going to networking events. Oh, going to networking events is so hard. I feel so nervous. Did you prepare? Did you think about how you were going to introduce yourself? Did you think of interesting stories that you could share? Did you think of questions you could ask based on the context of the event you're going to? And if you didn't prepare, then why would you expect to feel confident? Because as Dale Carnegie says, confidence comes from being prepared. Confidence comes from practice. Confidence comes from repetition. Confidence comes from experience. And I don't think that a lot of people do prepare for social situations such as a networking event or a conference. But if you don't feel prepared, that says you do need to practice. And practicing for that doesn't have to be hard. I teach my students how to do that simply by having a format for how you can answer questions, and also having a format for how you can introduce yourself to strangers, what to say after you've introduced yourself, how you can start a conversation, how you can prolong a conversation, how you can change a conversation as well. All of that is about practicing. So if you go into a networking event knowing, you know exactly how you're going to introduce yourself. You've practiced it. You've practiced it in front of a mirror. You've recorded yourself. You've watched it. You feel confident introducing yourself, right? And the more you practice, the more confident you feel. And when you go to that networking event, you will feel confident walking in those doors because you know how to introduce yourself, you know how to start a conversation, you know how to keep a conversation going, and you know how to switch topics, you know how to end a conversation. You know how to do everything that's expected of you at a networking event. So if you want to feel confident speaking English in public, first, get specific about the types of speaking opportunities you're going to be doing. For example, preparing for a job interview is very different than preparing for answering questions in a meeting, and that's very different than leading a webinar. And how you would prepare for these different events is very different as well. But all of these events can be treated in a very strategic way, having a very clear path that you can follow, a framework that you can follow. So when you go into the event, you know, okay, first I do this, then I do this, then I do that. You're not guessing, you're not wondering what you're going to do. You've gone into that situation knowing exactly what you're going to do, and from that is how you'll feel confident. So remember, only the prepared speaker deserves to be confident. I urge you to prepare. Think about what speaking engagements that you'll be attending and then prepare. And that was day 29 of the 30-day video challenge. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, happy studying. All right, you're well on your way to feeling confident speaking in public. Don't stop there. Watch this video. And don't forget about this video. And don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, happy studying.